what do you think could be the biggest challenge for the players in Redfall?
Besides the vampires?
Besides the vampires.
No, I mean the game is about figuring out what happened on the island and how to stop the vampires that have taken over. Eventually, they have to get to the vampire gods, and the gods are really powerful. They're the ones that have pushed the waters back. They've taken over the radio waves. They've blocked the sun. So they're really powerful, and those are really tough fights.
Where did the idea of making a video game in which a town is beset by vampires come from?
Oh man, people always ask that, and it's hard because it's not just one thing. It's lots of different streams coming together. You know, early on, while part of the team was finishing Moon Crash, you know, a couple of people, including Harvey, were starting to work up an idea, and then eventually the whole team moved onto the game, and we always wanted to do an open world game. Some of our games are starting to move in that direction a little bit. We wanted to take the things that we know how to do really well and try to put them in an open world game. But also some of us really love playing games together, and so we were like, how can we make the kind of game we love to make, but also play together? We hadn't done that yet, and so that was part of the challenge too. And then lots of people on the team just love vampires, and so we were interested in, because vampires are always popular, right? They always come back, and people reinvent them in interesting ways. And so we were like, let's do vampires, but let's do our version of vampires.
Nice version. You said that this game is nothing like Left 4 Dead, that it's more like Far Cry.
Yeah.
But what does Redfall, what new things does Redfall bring besides vampires?
Well, that's the main thing. And I think it's the three things that I'm excited about in this game, okay, is I think our heroes are really cool. I think they're really cool personalities. I've been living with them for like 5 years, so I feel like I know them. They're like real people. But I think each one, they're not just copies of each other. They have their own personalities. They each have unique abilities. And they're just really exciting people. So it's hard for me to pick a favorite. But then the second thing is the setting itself. Like we go all out when we make a setting, like when we made the city of Dunwall, when we made the space station in Prey. So I'm really proud of what the team has done to make the city of Redfall like come to life. I think we have worlds and environments that are just like really great to explore. And then the last thing is, of course, the vampires themselves. You know, we're doing our own version of vampires. These are vampires that came about through some scientific experimentation, but they are incredibly powerful psychically also, and it's not a disease like you might see in some other fiction. It's not like an accident. Like they set out to do something like this on purpose. They wanted to be vampires, and they got what they wanted.
Okay. Being an open world, what could be considered the limits the players have? The vampire nests, for example.
Like, what do you mean?
The limits, like what are the players not going to be able to make?
Like where can they go? Well, you can go anywhere on the island of Redfall, but I don't know if you managed to get to the edge of the map, but you'll notice that the vampires, they push the ocean back. So the ocean is like a Moses-like wall of water. Yep. That's impassable. But the map that you were playing is only part one. There's actually two maps, and the second map is even bigger. And there's not just one vampire god. There's three vampire gods there, who are fighting each other also. So when you get to the second map, the world gets even bigger, and there's more cults they want to kill you, and they also want to kill each other. So it's just like the whole world is like simulated, and it's very cool. Okay, thank you. And my last question is, were the characters, especially the Remy, I played with Remy, inspired in any Latin American nationality? Remy is Puertorriqueña.
Puertorriqueña, okay, nice. And the abilities that she has, are they because she's Puertorriqueña, or just because you wanted?
Well, you know, when it depends on how you look at it, because like when we started designing them, at first we were just thinking about gameplay.
Okay.
You know, like, okay, we want somebody who has a pet. We want somebody who is more sneaky. We want somebody who has magic powers, right? So the character who had the pet, that's the character that became Remy.
Okay.
And then once we decided who she was as a character, then we like really fleshed that out. And if you play, I mean, you get a lot of this in single player if you listen to the story, but especially if you play in multiplayer, when the characters talk to each other, like when Layla is playing with Remy and they talk to each other, they start to get to know each other, and you learn about like Remy and her background in Puerto Rico and her family and all kinds of stuff. It's cool. Yeah.
And I read that it's gonna be like crossplay, but is it gonna be like couch co-op or only online?
Only online.
Okay.
But you can play crossplay with like PC people, Steam,
That's
Epic,
super cool.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for playing the game.
Thank you.
Pude jugar aproximadamente 1 hora y media. Yo escogí al personaje de Remy, una puertorriqueña que tiene una mascota que le ayuda en este mundo oscuro. Los otros 3 personajes son Layla Ellison, una ingeniera biomecánica, Davinder Dev Cruzley, criptozoólogo, y Jacob Boyer, militar encubierto. Como bien comentó Ricardo en la entrevista, esta aventura se juega como shooter en un mundo abierto con múltiples actividades secundarias que ayudan a hacer redonda la historia y además ayudan a subir de nivel a tu personaje. Los objetivos de estas misiones secundarias son claras, como por ejemplo recuperar la pieza faltante de una máquina de palomitas. Todo comienza en una casa de bomberos, que es el edificio de seguridad, en el que haciendo preguntas podrás entender en qué mundo estás antes de salir a la calle, explorar y enfrentarte a tus primeros vampiros. A lo largo del mapa encontraremos nidos de vampiros, que son áreas centradas en el combate, donde cada nido que encontremos será diferente. Conforme matemos vampiros o avancemos en las misiones, iremos llenando una barra llamada Tormenta del Aterrador, en la que prácticamente lo que pasa es que estamos haciendo enojar a los vampiros, así que cuando esa barra se llene, nos perseguirá un vampiro bastante poderoso decidido a matarnos. No, si antes lo matamos nosotros. Entre nuestras armas tenemos algunas con luz ultravioleta para paralizar los vampiros. Después de esto bastará con darles un golpe para hacerlos polvo y deshacernos de ellos. Claro que esto solo será tan sencillo como suena con los vampiros casuales que nos encontramos en las calles, no con los más poderosos y mucho menos con los dioses vampiro, pero esta dinámica y que no sea simplemente una masacre a balazos hace de este shooter una opción refrescante. Sí encontramos algunos bugs como rayos láser que teníamos que desactivar pero no aparecía la caja para desactivarlos, pero claro que esto fue informado al equipo que en ese momento seguía puliendo algunos detalles. Honestamente me quedé con ganas de seguir jugando, 1 hora y media no fue suficiente y no puedo esperar a ver cómo cambia el juego a la hora de jugarlo en modo cooperativo. Redfall llegará el próximo 2 de mayo a Xbox Series XS y PC y contará con crossplay.